Welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. If you're new here, I am UFC welterweight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today, we're gonna add on to those techniques we did last Tuesday, that shuffle jab. Now we're gonna be working on something a little bit more advanced, so you guys really need to tune in, put on your thinking caps, really focus in on what I'm trying to show you today. If you don't listen, I'll smack you in the face. I'm kidding, seriously though, I will. We're gonna be adding on 3 more techniques to that shuffle jab that we covered last week. And that's gonna be a shuffle, jab, cross, step off, which is an angle change, another cross. Now, if you haven't seen last week's breakdown of the shuffle jab, I highly recommend you guys checking it out. And if you have seen it, here we go. Now we're gonna talk about the 2 techniques that we're adding on, which is the head punch, AKA the cross, AKA the 2. Now, when I throw the 2, very important, you guys gotta know this, is backhand up. It's done with the backhand, by the way, not the front hand. Front hand's jab. Come on now. Back foot, you gotta have a good pivot. When I pivot, it gives me 2 things. More power, because now I got my hips, my shoulders turning into it, and it gives me more reach. You want reach and power. Now that I broke down the 2 for you guys in the jab last week, let's put these 2 together. Now, number 1, I gotta cover the distance. I gotta be able to go to point B to point A very quickly and in a good stance, not just walking forward. So I got my shuffle movement down. My shuffle movement goes forward. Now as I shuffle, that's when my jab goes out. When I land, as soon as I land, that's when I throw the 2. So it goes something like this, very slow. Shuffle jab, back foot's planted, boom, 2. Now if you noticed, my shoulders are in a straight line, so I get maximum reach. Let's speed it up. Be careful of this. Watch my back foot. I see this a lot. See how that back foot floats? Do not allow that to happen. That takes a lot of power away from that 2. Now that we've added that 2, that jab cross, we're gonna add on something a little bit different. Now you gotta really pay attention to this because it can get a little tricky. We're gonna add on the angle change and then another 2. Whenever I work that shuffle jab cross, I'm moving forward, right? Boom, boom. Now from here, most of the guys, especially at the top of the game, are gonna block that technique. But that's okay, because now I'm gonna change the angle on them. When they see that I'm not there anymore and they drop their hands, that's when I'm gonna nail with the second right hand. So it goes something like this. Shuffle jab cross, step off cross. So if you notice what I'm doing, I'm working a shuffle jab cross, another shuffle, what I like to call a reverse shuffle, into another cross. So let's break it down a little bit slower for you. We're just gonna focus on the footwork for making this technique work. I'm doing my first shuffle movement to make my opponent's hands come up. Front foot moves, back foot pushes. Now after that right hand lands, my back foot's pivoting. Now I'm gonna push off my front foot and land on my back foot to get the angle change. Then I sit and throw the 2. So it goes something like this. Now you gotta be careful of this. I see this happen a lot. On my first shuffle movement, you gotta make sure that your feet stay wide. If my feet are this far apart, when I land, they should be this far apart. I see people shuffling forward, allowing those feet to come together, and now they have no power on their backhand. So you gotta make sure those feet stay wide. Shuffle jab, cross, my feet are wide. Now it's easier for me to angle off. If I allow my feet to get close, it's harder to angle off with any speed to throw that right hand. Now, to do this in real time, I'm gonna call out my dummy, AKA my brother Tony, out here to help me with this. Now that we got my brother Tony out here, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this live. Make sure you guys practice this technique over and over and over again so that it's muscle memory. Now I got my shuffle jab coming. Front foot moves first, as my jab goes out, boom. Now that I'm sitting down, you see my shoulders in a straight line. That means my 2 is gonna come from back here. A lot of power on it. Bang. Now I'm good pivot. Now all I gotta do now is step off to the side with my back foot. Make sure your shoulders are back in a straight line before you throw the 2. If I angle off and my shoulders are square, I'm gonna have no power on that 2. So I'm going here. 1, 2, step off, see my shoulders, 2. Okay, one more time, let's go a little bit faster. All right, now my brother Tony's gonna throw a jab after my 2. A lot of people, when you guys move in to throw your punches, they may close their eyes and swing. So you gotta be careful with that. So I can show you how this angle change is also an evasive movement, and I can counter with that other 2. So I got my jab cross, bang, bang. The jab's coming, I step off to the side, boom, sets me up perfect for that too. So it goes something like this. So what he's doing, I'm clipping either the jaw, or if the shoulder's up like it's supposed to be, I go for the ear. You hit that ear, that puts your opponent really wobbly. I've been hit there before, it doesn't feel good. Now we'll speed it up for you. And one thing I like to do after I throw that too, I'll keep circling out. Boom. I hope you like the breakdown, y'all. We're adding on. We're gonna keep adding on. Last week we did the shuffle jab. Now we're going shuffle jab, cross, step off, cross, son. Hopefully you guys were watching, focused on it, because please practice this. If you're watching it, get in the backyard, wherever you got a bag hooked up, go to the gym and just drill it over and over and over again so that it's muscle memory. Next time you spar, you'll be like, dude, did I just do that? Yes. Subscribe. So I got my shuffle jab cross, bang, bang, and I'm dead. You gotta let me explain it, bro.
Sorry, dude.